Hey guys, my name's Wes, and you're watching Wes Nichols TV, and today I'm reviewing Deadpool. Deadpool is a 2016 superhero, comedy, action, rated R film. It's not like anything you've really seen before in a comic book genre in this golden age of comic book movies that we are currently living in. First of all, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is beyond perfect casting. It's like when you watch him, and as a person who's a really big fan of his, all the way back to Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, you realize he's been playing this part for like 20 years. Just nobody knew it until you put the mask on him. And so to see that, you're not feeling like you're watching somebody read, lines and just putting it on the screen. You feel like his actual charisma, his real presence is coming through, like Kevin Smith would say, all over your face, neck, and chest. It's really entertaining to see somebody who's having that much fun playing a part, who's that perfectly cast and fit for that part. Also, I enjoy that this movie is so scattered with humor well throughout. There's so many jokes that land, most of them do. There's a lot of referential stuff that goes on. I'm a huge pop culture addict, basically, so when I'm hearing stuff like that, I'm enjoying that. It definitely hit my sense of humor. I enjoyed the comedy well throughout this film. There were only a few jokes that I thought grew a little bit old, and they did do a little bit more of that, but I'll talk that in the negatives a little bit later on in this review. The action stuff. I almost would not compare this to a superhero movie. This reminds me almost of like the late 80s action movies. Like, just in the fact that there's so many explosions and there's gore, it was a lot of fun. It was like watching Expendables 2, which is the best Expendables movie, and the fact that just like there's brain matter going places and like gore. It's really entertaining, and especially the fact that they can blend those two, the humor and the action, so well. Especially using the fourth wall breaks, although I thought they could use them a little bit more. I was hoping for some more of that type of stuff. I didn't get as much as I had hoped. But that whole, pretty much as a whole, this movie works really, really well. I also really liked the romance. A lot of times, a romantic interest in a superhero movie or in any action movie can really drag the story down. It's like, here's what's going on in the story that you really care about. But let's cut it up and toss some boring romance and we're going to sprinkle this all throughout the film, and then it drags it and it slows the pacing down. I bought it in this film. I thought, like, wow, this is a character, I want to see more of her. And you see a lot of her, and that's definitely a positive. But you wanted to get to know these characters better as a couple, as separate people. You wanted them to work out in the end, and that's something you want to see in any movie. You want to see the characters who are supposed to end up together, you want to see them end up together. That's what they need to make you feel, and they did. They did a great job in that. Now to my negatives. There's a couple moments in CG that just pulled me out. Not a whole bunch, but there's a couple where I'm like, this is not, they could have been better on this, but the budget wasn't huge. They didn't know what they're going to do with this. I mean, it's a rated R superhero movie. What's going to happen? So they toned back the budget. I'm sure in the sequel, which will get a much bigger budget, will probably look a lot more crisp. Also, like I said, there's a few jokes, just a few, in this film that get reused, especially one that I'm going to talk about even more about later on in this review, that it just, after some time, you're like, okay, I get the joke. I get the joke, but they keep going on with it, and it's like, oh, fine, it's a joke, I get it. And so that kind of annoyed me a little bit. My biggest negative, though, is the villain. And this is a huge negative for basically Marvel movies in general, just superhero movies, is that you spend so much time with the hero, you don't get to really get to know the villain all that well, and they try to give you some stuff to get to know him somewhat, but it doesn't really work with me. I thought that he wasn't the worst choice ever. He felt appropriate for this origin story to Deadpool. I thought he matched up fairly well with him. It's just the charisma of the actor playing him wasn't the greatest. I didn't think that I bought into, like, this guy's, a badass. He's just like, he's a mutant too. He can do stuff and he can compete. And I didn't buy it. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought that he's not memorable at all. And the fact that one of the jokes throughout this movie that really I didn't buy was them continuing to say his name over and over and over again. It just didn't land with me. And that is a sizable negative to me, just because for this movie to be, the greatest comic book movie of all time, it needs to succeed in every single aspect. And a villain is a huge, especially in a superhero movie. Any other crap movie, you can get like, okay, he's a villain, he's just the point for this. But a superhero movie, like Batman, you're only as good a hero as your villains are as bad, And it just didn't work all that well. He was okay, but he wasn't great. And that's why, overall, I'm going to give Deadpool an 8 out of 10. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm going to see it again. I think it's really funny. I think that the action's just awesome. I think it blends it all really well. Ryan Reynolds was born to play this part. overall, there's not a whole lot to really gripe about aside from the villain itself and a couple other small little things here and there. But that's just my opinion, and I want to know yours. What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down, click the like button right over here, only if you like the video. Click subscribe to Wes Nichols TV if you want to subscribe and see more of my reviews. There's a review right here and a link in this little box area. Also, you can share me on social media. It helps me out a lot. You can follow me on Twitter at WesNichols14 to get any updates on whatever I'm doing in my life. Thanks for watching. My name is Wes. You're watching Wes Nichols TV. Have a great night. Bye.